Okay, so the product of our powers, that's what we're going to start with, when we're multiplying things with exponents. Okay? So remember, x to the third is just like x times x times x. Then we're going to multiply it by x squared times y. So that's going to be like x times y. When I multiply them, I just find out how many x's do I have? How many x's do I have? 5. So it's x to the fifth because I'm multiplying x 5 times by itself, and then times y. So you can notice the rule then is just when you multiply things with the same base, you simply add their exponents. So I could have done x cubed times x squared would have been x to the 3 plus 2 power, which is 5. Which is what we're going to do here. Okay, we're going to multiply 2 times the negative 5 and get negative 10. Then the x to the fifth, and I have 5 x's here, and I have x to the seventh, so 7 x's. So a total of 12 x's. Okay, this one I have y cubed and y to the 10th. So I have a total of how many y's?
13.
Y to the 13th. Okay, so that's how we would do this first one. Okay, the next one we're going to do the same thing. We're going to write it out. So we're going to have 4 times y times y times y divided by 20 times y times y times y times y times y times y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Need one more. Okay, then we're just going to divide it. Okay, 20 can't go into 4, but 4 and 20 can both be divided by 4. So I'm just going to reduce this fraction. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. Okay, then again I'm going to divide out my y's. Y divided by y is 1. Y divided by y is 1. Y divided by y is 1. Okay, I'm left with all of these y's on the bottom. On top I have 1. On the bottom I have the 5. And then y to the 4th. So I can just leave it like that. But the key here is that you know where your variables go. Do they go on the top or on the bottom? Because that's going to be a common mistake. You're just going to move this all up and all of a sudden it's going to be magically 5y to the 4th. It's 1 over 5y to the 4th, which is very different. Yes? Can you wait till we're done? Like 15 minutes. Okay. Okay, next one. Now, because I really don't want to write out this that many times, we can just use the rule where we have our same base, we just subtract the exponent. So the rule for dividing things with exponent is to subtract their exponent. The key is knowing where the variable goes at the end. So here, I have x to the 8th on top and x to the 5th on the bottom. Okay. When I subtract them, am I going to have my x's on the top or on the bottom left over? On the top. There's more x's on top, so I'm going to have x to the 3rd on top. y's, I have y cubed on top and y to the 10th on the bottom. Where my y is going to end up? On the bottom. There's more on the bottom, so I'm going to have y to the 7th on the bottom. Just subtract the 10 and the 3 and get 7. You subtracted the 8 and the 5 and got 3. Any questions over that? So this is my answer. X cubed over 7, or over y to the 7th. Okay, now, a power we've kind of dealt with a little bit with our binomials. If I had x plus 2 squared, I would just write that out twice as x plus 2 times x plus 2, and then we distributed it, right? You don't need to write that down. So that's what we're going to do here. We're just going to write this out twice, because it's squared. So I'm going to get x to the 4th times x to the 4th. And how many x's do I have then? 8. So I have x to the 8th. Now you just add those exponents. 4 and 4 is 8. When we had our product of our powers, right? When we go back. Okay, right? We counted up how many we had, and we added those exponents. So we had the 3 and the 2 became the 5. Right? That's the same rule we're using here. The 4 and the 4 becomes 8. You add the exponents.
Didn't you still multiply it and still get the same answer? Because
multiply what? These two? Yes, you could do that. That is the rule. I'd like you to write it out, though. Okay, the next one. Okay, y cubed, we're going to write it out 3 times. Y to the 3rd times y to the 3rd times y to the 3rd. And then add up all the exponents. 3, 6, 9. So y to the 9th. Any questions over that? It doesn't need to be in the first one, but if you want to put it there, you can. You're good? Okay. Yes. Okay, so 0, anything with a 0 power is going to be 1. So this is just going to be the 5 times x to the 0, which is 1, times y to the 3rd. So it's 5 times 1, which is 5y cubed. So the next one is this. Notice that the whole thing is to the 0 power. Okay? So it's just the whole thing is 1. Here, only the x was to the 0 power, so that's why only it was 1. Only that x to the 0 power was 1. Any questions over that? Okay, the next one. Now we have a power product. This is why I'd like you to write it out. This is cubed. Okay, I don't want you just to multiply the exponents here because you will forget to raise negative 2 to the power of 3. So you're going to write this out 3 times. We're going to multiply all the 2's. So negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Then we have to multiply it by the negative 2. And then 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Then we have x squared and x squared and x squared, which is x to the what power, class? 6. I have 2, 4, 6. I add them all up. Okay, remember just adding the exponents when you're multiplying. Then we have y, and y, so y to the third. Any questions over that? Next one, we're going to write this out 3 times. 4ab cubed c squared times 4ab cubed c squared times 4ab cubed c squared. Okay, we're going to multiply 4 times 4 times 4. Good. Times this 4 gives me the 64. Any questions over that? Okay, calm some people. Manual, where are you at? Oh, there. A to the what power? Very good. 3 and 3 is B9. C to the what? To the 6. Good. Any questions on how I got that? We're good? Okay. Rolling down. Okay, next one we have a power of quotient. It's the same type of thing. You're going to write it out twice. Brandon, face forward. So this is just going to be 2x to the 4th over 3y times 2x to the 4th over 3y. When you multiply fractions, you just multiply the tops together. So just multiply straight across. 2 times 2 is 4, and x to the 4th and x to the 4th is x to the 8th. On the bottom, 3 times 3 is 9. Y times y is y squared. Any questions over that? Okay, next one. This is the whole thing to the cube, so we're going to write it out 3 times. Okay, multiply together. So 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Class, x to the what power? 12. Over x to the what power? Y to the what? 9. Now we're not done, because we can still reduce this, because we have x's on the top and the bottom. Okay, so here we need to subtract when we're dividing things with exponents, we subtract their exponents. So that's going to give me 8. Does the x go on the top or the bottom now? Top. There's more variables on top, so we have x to the 6 on top, and then y9 on the bottom. Any questions over that? Okay. On the back of that page, you have a few problems I want you guys to try on your own now.